Hello, everybody. So today I'm going to be reading a historical fiction book. This one is called Freedom Summer, and it's by Deborah Wiles, and it is illustrated by Jerome Lagarrigue. Okay, so on this first page we have some notes from the author. It says, a note about the text. In the early 1960s, the American South had long been a place where Black Americans could not drink from the same drinking fountains as whites, attend the same schools, or enjoy the same public areas. Then the Civil Rights Act of 1964 became law and stated that all persons shall be entitled to the full and equal enjoyment of any public place, regardless of race, color, religion, or national origin. I was born a white child in Mobile, Alabama, and spent summers visiting my beloved Mississippi relatives. When the Civil Rights Act was passed, the town pool closed. So did the roller rink and the ice cream parlor. Rather than lawfully giving blacks the same rights and freedoms as whites, many Southern businesses chose to shut their doors in protest. Some of them closed forever. Also in the summer of 1964, the civil rights workers in Mississippi organized Freedom Summer, a movement to register Black Americans to vote. It was the time of a great racial violence and change. That was the summer I began to pay attention. I noticed that Black Americans used back doors, were waited on only after every white had been helped, and were treated poorly, all because of the color of their skin, and no matter what any law said. I realized that a white person openly having a black friend and vice versa could be a dangerous thing. I couldn't get these thoughts and images out of my mind, and I wondered what it must be like to be a black child my age. I dreamed about changing things, and yet I wondered what any child, black or white, could do. This story grew out of my feelings surrounding that time. It is fiction, but based on real events. Okay, let's get into the book, the story. John Henry Waddell is my best friend. His mama works for my mama. Her name is Annie Mae. Every morning at 8 o'clock, Annie Mae steps off the county bus and walks up the hill to my house. If it is summer, John Henry is stepping it right beside her. There's the boy, John, and he looks super happy. And then there's John Henry. And he looks really happy to be there. I noticed that his mama has an apron on. She must work for their house. We like to help Annie Mae. We shell butter beans. We sweep the front porch. We let the cats in, then chase the cats out of the house until Annie Mae says, "Shoo, enough of you two. Go play." We shoot marbles in the dirt until we're too hot to be alive. Then we yell, "Last one in is a rotten egg," and run straight for Fiddler's Creek. There they are helping. There they are running off to have a good time. It says private pool, members only. I bet I know who members are. I bet they're the white people. John Henry swims better than anybody I know. He crawls like a catfish, blows bubbles like a swamp monster, but he doesn't swim in the town pool with me. He's not allowed. So we dam the creek with rocks and sticks to make a swimming spot. Then holler and jump in, wearing only our skin. I love this picture. It's all blue like there. Blue and green like they're in the creek. Oh, this is a cool one too. They're blowing water out as they're swimming on their backs. This actually looks better than a pool. John Henry's skin is the color of brown butter. He smells like pine needles after a good rain. My skin is the color of the pale moths that dance around the porch late at night. John Henry says I smell like a just washed sock. This means war, I shout. We churn the water into a white hurricane and laugh until our sides hurt. Then we float on our backs and spout like whales. I'm gonna be a fireman when I grow up, I say. Me too, says John Henry. I have 2 nickels for ice pops, so we put on our clothes and walk to town. John Henry doesn't come with me through the front door of Mason's General Store. He's not allowed. How you doing, young Joe? Asks Mr. Mason. He winks and says, You gonna eat all those by yourself? My heart does a quick beat. I got one for a friend, I said, and I scoot out the door. Yes, sir, it's mighty hot out there, Mr. Mason calls after me. I love ice pops, says John Henry. Me too, I say. I bet that his heart skips a quick beat because he's worried that somebody's going to find out, or Mr. Mason is going to find out he has a black friend that he's buying ice pops for. I can't imagine how that must feel, to be scared that you have a friend. Oh, there they are at dinner. I can see Auntie May, she's serving. I bet the character's dad and mom. Auntie May makes dinner for my family every night. Oh, I knew it just by looking at the picture. She creams the corn and rolls the biscuits. Daddy stirs his iced tea and says, The town pool opens tomorrow to everybody under the sun, no matter what color. That's the new law, Mama tells me. She helps my plate with peas and says, It's the way it's gonna be now. Everybody together. Lunch counters, restrooms, drinking fountains too. I wiggle in my chair like a doodle bug. I gotta be excused, I shout, and I run to the kitchen to tell John Henry. He's so happy. I'm gonna swim in the town pool, he hollers. Is it deep? Real deep, I tell him, and the water's so clear. You can jump to the bottom and open your eyes and still see. Let's be the first one there, said John Henry. I'll bring my good luck nickel and we can dive for it. Next morning comes as soon as the sun peeks into the sky. Here comes my best friend, John Henry Waddle, running to meet me. Let's go, he yells. I got my nickel. And I run right with him, all the way to the town swimming pool. We race each other over the last hill and we stop. County dump trucks are here. They grind and back up to the empty pool. Workers rake steaming asphalt into the hole where the sparkling clean pool used to be. One of them is John Henry's big brother, Will Rogers. That must be him right there. We start to call to him. What happened? But he sees us first and points back on down the road. It means get on home. What? They're filling the pool with asphalt? We'll never have a pool again. But our feet feel stuck. We can't budge. So we hunker in the tall weeds and watch all morning until the pool is filled in with hot, spongy tar. Smoky steam rises in the air. Workers tie planks to their shoes and stomp on the blacktop to make it smooth. Will Rogers heaves his shovel into the back of an empty truck and climbs up with the other workers. His face is like a storm cloud. Storm clouds are angry. I think he's angry. He's black too. I know this job has made him angry. Let's go, a boss man shouts, and the trucks rumble slam down the road. Wow, how horrible it must be to have to fill a pool in yourself because somebody wouldn't let you swim in it. It's so quiet now, we can hear the breeze whisper through the grass. We sit on the diving board and stare at the tops of our silver ladders sticking up from the tar. My heart beats hard in my chest. John Henry's voice shakes. White folks don't want colored folks in their pool. You're wrong, John Henry, I say. But I know he's right. Let's go back to Fiddler's Creek, I say. I don't want to swim in this old pool anyway. John Henry's eyes fill up with angry tears. I did, he says. I wanted to swim in this pool. I want to do everything you can do. I don't know what to say, but as we walk back to town, my head starts to pop with new ideas. I want to go to Dairy Dip with John Henry, sit down and share root beer floats. I want us to go to the picture show, buy popcorn, and watch the movie together. I want to see this town with John Henry's eyes. We stop in front of Mr. Mason's store. I jam my hands into my pockets while my mind searches for words to put with my new ideas. My fingers close around 2 nickels. Want to get an ice pop? John Henry wipes his eyes and takes a breath. I want to pick it up myself. I swallow hard and my heart says, yes. Let's do that, I say. I give John Henry one of my nickels. He shakes his head. I got my own. We look at each other. He has his lucky nickel. I remember now. Can't turn the page. It's stuck together. Then we walk through the front door together. The end. I hope you liked that story. I've read it before, but I got kind of like emotional there. That has to be really, really tough. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the story too. Have a good day.